Ladies and gentlemen, live from Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 2535 of the show. It is September the 13th, 2025, 10:17 p.m., about over 10 minutes ago. Over 10 minutes ago, probably 15 minutes ago. AEW Collision is over. The final Collision before All Out, because next week it's going to be All Out in Toronto. And I'm really excited about the card, and I think I know lots of big to do in wrestling nowadays between WWE and AEW, and then you got AAA and TNA, CMLL, New Japan, all that good stuff, all that good work, and it's going to be totally crazy. I'm scratching my back because it is itchy. Beautiful Saturday night. We had a good time. And I'm very happy to announce that the new speakers, on the last episode of my virtually purchased acquisitions, as you know, I had some new speakers put up for my computer. And the clip-ons and everything else, and I figured everything out. Everything's been plugged in, and everything is working. The speakers work excellent. The other speakers do work as well. My old speakers, so I decided, but I'll put them away for right now in case something happens. So I do have some backups. I do have a backup. I make sure that'll probably give me an opportunity to if I plug everything in, I'll plug it in the right way. But other than that, though, I'm really excited. These speakers do work, and I'm very, very happy about it. So, and I'm glad the camera's working, and I'm glad I had the thing with the extra UBS players as well. Very happy that everything is working to the max, and yeah. Yeah, so I am very, very pleased as punch. So I'm totally cool with it, and it looks great, and I got a lot more room on the desk, it seems like to me. But we will get to what we're going to talk about is AEW Collision, and it's in the 2300 Arena once again. They had 2 weeks in Philly, I do believe. So Ian Riccaboni interviewed MJF, who's been comes out. Now, MJF is the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, I've been told. And he basically has been challenged by Mystico in a title versus mask match. So, but MJF starts running his mouth about Mark Briscoe. And it seems like to me that, boy, even married life wouldn't slow this kid down. Let me tell you about it's like you're married now. You're supposed to behave. You conduct yourself a little bit more, MJF. Instead, you're still acting like a totally Beavis-looking butthead. And Mark Briscoe decided to challenge MJF one-on-one. You know what I've done? I would say, Friedman, you've been running your mouth so much, and since you refuse to even cash that sucker in, I'm challenging you for that contract. And if I beat you, I get that contract and I'll cash it in. But instead, Mark Briscoe went tables and thumbtacks, so tables and tacks match in honor of TNT. So at All Out, it will be MJF and Mark Briscoe in a tables and tacks match. And I'm talking about thumbtacks. So that's it's a no DQ matchup. A couple of no DQ matchups, and they said I didn't give you your wedding present. And so Mark Briscoe blindsided MJF, and both of them brawled, and MJF retreated in the end. Then Lexi Nair interviewed Paragon and Hologram, and then they had the the computer thing. And Hologram's like holding his head. Is it like a dark side of Hologram that we don't know, or is it an evil twin of Hologram? We don't know. We'll find out. And they were talking about what Daniel Garcia did, and they said they'll make Daniel Garcia and Moxley pay. Meanwhile, the Unified Title Eliminator matchup as John Callis joins on commentary as his man Konosuke Takeshita took on Anthony Bowens. Heck of a matchup. Heck of a matchup, but then Takeshita won the matchup, and he'll face either Beast Mortals of Mascara Dorada or Michael Oku and Kazuchika Okada. So, speaking of Mascara Dorada, he addresses the Beast Mortals in a September to Remember. I believe it's coming Wednesday. September to Remember. Gonna be a heck of a deal. So, this ought to be a little bit of fun. Excuse me. And then you have the $500,000 5-on-5 tag 10-woman tag team matchup. Lexi Nate tried to interview the first five. That would be team of Ty Mello, Anna Jay, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Harley Cameron. And Harley Cameron, bless her heart, man, she's trying to get everybody together, but they're upset with Chris Statlander hanging out with the Death Riders, which she never did, and all this good stuff. Association with the Death Riders and all that. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander are about to get in it. Harley Cameron trying to break it up. 1, 2, 3. Everybody walks away. Gonna be costly. So, Timeless Tony Storm. Joey's on color commentary. I love Timeless Tony Storm. Beautiful, talented, excellent. The WWE made a mistake letting her go. They shouldn't. Well, though now with Vince McMahon gone, if she ever thought about coming back to the WWE, they should let her utilize that talent. But then again, if you go to Saudi, looks like your uniform could be not your uniform, your outfit, the gear, the entrances could be watered down, unfortunately. But then again, she looked at she can wear that jumpsuit in street fight matches. Anyways, in the end, but Wheeler Yuta, that crackhead Quantum Ranger, Wheeler Yuta, tries to get involved. I would say, listen here, crackhead Quantum Ranger, before I decide to knock you out with ether and then cut your hair and shave your beard, get out of here. But I don't know what's with the Wheeler Yuta. I know they used to be friends. They used to be the best part of the Best Friends group, but that all changed. And then Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne, and the Triangle of Madness, that's what they took on, won the matchup because nobody's working on trying to work as a team. Harley Cameron, I think she's going to be upset. If I were Harley Cameron, I'd be upset. I'd be like, we're supposed to work as a team. We want to be rich, and y'all decided to go out against each other. Y'all blew it. So, anyways, Statlander and Tekla were brawling after the matchup. So, but then Mina Shirakawa and Queen Amanada came in with a cooler and some grilling utensils and started fighting and brawling. And then Tony Storm got to the roll, bro, bitches, brawl. She jumped right in. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then she got the best of Tekla in that brawl. And that will lead to a tornado tailgate brawl at All Out. And it's going to be Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa, two of my favorite ladies on the team, along with the lovely Queen Amanada. And I like Willow Nightingale. I'm starting to like her a little bit more, too. Against Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, and two members of the Triangle, Madness, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. So there's that. So there's that match. And then a 5-minute match between Max Caster and Big Bill. And Big Bill ended up winning the matchup in that 5-minute match challenge. I think it was 3 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. Anyways, and then Big Bill calls out Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Kingston officially accepted the challenge. So, at All Out, Big Bill goes one-on-one with Eddie Kingston. Well, Big Bill, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Then, uh, Lexi Nair interviewed Anthony Bowens and Jerry Lynn. And as Jerry Lynn was talking to Anthony Bowens, Platinum X Caster stumbled in the back and accidentally pushed Anthony Bowens. The two started brawling to the ring. And then Jerry Lynn is trying to break the whole thing up and tells them both off. But then he was interrupted by the Swirl, Big Shotty Lee Johnson and the Vanilla Baby Blake Christian. Starts running their mouths, started disrespecting Jerry Lynn. He says, "You want to go at it?" And then they both climb in the ring, jumping him. And then Platinum X Caster comes to his aid. And then Anthony Bowens says, "Okay, fine." Last minute, he starts coming in, and they end up cleaning house. Jerry Lynn lifts both their wrists, and looks like a little tension between the former members of the Acclaim. And they got a point, Platinum X Caster needs to slow down his ego. I think that's going to work. And Jerry Lynn's trying to get him back as a tag team. So, anyways, Lexi Nair interviewed Mystico about the challenge to MJF, and MJF interrupts him, saying that he's going to take off the mask. And then his little Spanish-speaking friend, who is like an interpreter, starts insulting him in Spanish, and Mystico just knocks him out. Good. But we do that to MJF. Then the multiple tag teams, Adam Priest and Tommy Billington in a rematch with FTR, and FTR has won again. Meanwhile, the multiple tag teams addressed, Brodito from the Young Bucks, Bang Bang Gang, Jet Speed, and the former patriarchy of Kip Sabian and Killswitch. Seems like to me they all want a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships. And that will be in a ladder match. So Brodito will put the straps up. Question is, which three teams will join them? They have mixed tag matches. Then you got the unified title as Kazuchika Okada defended against Michael Oku. Don Callis on commentary again. And Okada wins the matchup and advances into a small tournament. Well, he faced Konosuke Takeshita, who won earlier tonight. And the winner of Beast Mortals Mascara Dorada from September to Remember. Takeshita comes out to confront Okada after the matchup. And then Kyle Fletcher once again addresses Hangman Adam Page. And then the main event. Paragon to fight Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia. Possibly Daniel Garcia is a member of Death Riders. Daddy Magic joins on commentary. And then after Garcia and Moxley wins the matchup, Daddy Magic Matt Menard got into his face, starts yelling at him, but he's ignoring them, looking at Maria Shafir and Jon Moxley and followed them out. And it seems like Matt Menard is not very happy about that. We'll see how that goes. Well, that is it. That's all the time that we have on this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. And we're going to run the card one more time before we end it. As you know, world title on the line. Hangman Adam Page defends against TBS champ Kyle Fletcher. Remember, and the women's world title on the line in a fatal four-way. Timeless Toni Storm defends against Tekla, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. Mercedes Moné will defend the TBS title against Riho. Unified title will be on the line as Kazuchika Okada defends against Konosuke Takeshita or either Beast Mortals or Mascara Dorada. And Brodito will defend the tag team titles against three teams in a ladder match. Coffin match. Darby Allin against Jon Moxley. And thumbtacks, and tables and thumbtacks no DQ match. Mark Briscoe goes against MJF. And Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are going up against FTR. The Hurt Syndicate will go up against Ricochet and GOA in a trios matchup. Big Deal faces Eddie Kingston, like I mentioned before. Tornado Tailgate Brawl. Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Amanano, Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bang, Penelope Ford, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. So, that is it for today's episode. We got AEW Dynamite coming this Wednesday. Tomorrow, if you can join me on the David Street Network 3000. That's David St. Dennis's channel, where I'll be calling the action of or live reacting to the Patriots Dolphins game. Now they will do battle tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you for tuning in to the show. I will see you on the next episode of my YouTube show, Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Very, very happy that the speakers do work. Please as punch. I am happy about that. So, I will see you guys on the next episode of the show. And until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Bofa 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.